Hartford. Today is January the 18th, 2021. It's now 3 p.m. Today on the program, we're going to have a guest, Miss Marlene Davis. Going to share anecdotal evidence and a testimony of what it's like being inside one of the health facilities in our province. Marlene is the communications go-to person here at First Nations and Treaty 2 territory, and we'll welcome her when she comes in, and we'll have a conversation with Marlene too. But for now, thank you for tuning in once again here on Moccasin Trail News Live. We are the official online news portal of the Treaty 2 territory. Wanted to share something with you before we move any further. We'll get to the COVID and pandemic in just a few moments. But first, posted 24 minutes ago on the Treaty 2 territory Facebook page. Want to work for a nation-based, sovereign-based government? Want to be part of a strong, evolving circle destined to help our 11 nations reclaim their inherent and jurisdictional rights? Come join us. There are several employment opportunities within the government of First Nations and Treaty 2 territory. Please click on the link to learn more. I've now pressed it to learn more. And it redirects you to the fnt2t.com website. That's the Government of First Nations and Treaty 2 territory website. And today, one of the jobs that are being offered, one of the positions that needs to be filled very soon, is CFN Engagement Helper. And it reads, Treaty 2 territory. The Children, Families, and Nations Engagement Helper's primary responsibility is to connect local nations, current agencies, regional offices, and government of FNT2T. The Engagement Helper provides strategic and culturally relevant communications planning support to First Nations and Treaty 2 territory. If you'd like to read more, you can find it at the fnt2t.com website. But first, I want to make sure that I read toward all the way to the bottom, and it says, please apply by Monday, January 18 with a cover letter, resume, and references, and send that to First Nations and Treaty 2 territory -CFN. And then the second line reads administration -human resources. And the third line reads Box 1254, Lake Manitoba First Nation. And you can email all of that cover letter, resume, and references to office@fnt2t.com. And only those selected for an interview will be contacted. We've got a lot of jobs coming up here in the Treaty 2 territory, broadcasting live from Dauphin, Manitoba. Had a really good conversation with Mr. Boko Brakovich a few hours ago on our noon hour broadcast. Circle Talks. We met with Bo, who is one of the lead keepers of the FNT2T, and a very thorough, comprehensive flow of information and updating us in each and every way. So we're going to take you live to Marlene Davis. We're going to bring Marlene in, and Marlene Davis will be joining us momentarily.
I did that as a joke, but okay.
Hello, Marlene. How are you doing over there?
Hi, Corey. I'm having some technical issues. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. That's good enough to hear you. To hear you is good for us.
Okay.
I haven't shared the COVID update, but could I go to the COVID update and then to you? It builds into what we're talking about. So have you heard, that there are 4 more deaths and 118 cases of COVID-19 in Manitoba on Monday.
Aw.
Marlene?
Yes, it's, you know what, it's the numbers seem to be going down, but we're still losing people, and that's what it's always disheartening to hear that.
Nangya.
I wait for the day when we say no deaths, no more cases.
No more cases. Full vaccination.
Mhm.
Marlene, um, over the Christmas holidays, I don't think our audience at large knows that you were in a collision on the highway and suffered something. You went to the hospital. I want to look at three different things there. When you got into the accident, and then when you got moved to the hospital, being in the hospital, and then afterwards. Can we go through that in that order?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. You asked me to share. I said I'd share. So I'm.
Tell me about it. Not so much the details of the accident, but before you went to the hospital, thoughts that were in your mind and things that you think about. This could help our audience to understand what it feels like and what to look for and what to be mindful of.
Yeah. Well, you know, it wasn't, obviously it wasn't something I had planned. I was going out on Christmas Eve to do some banking. I was leaving our nation here, and I've been flowing. The weather wasn't that good. Road conditions weren't that good, but I figured, you know, I have a 4x4 truck. I have studded tires. I'm a good driver. And it just happened just before just before I was leaving our First Nation. I won't go into details, but I avoided hitting one vehicle and ended up hitting another one. And it ended up there were a few people hurt, myself and the other driver of the other vehicle. I suffered a broken ankle in a few different places and some injuries to my head. Nothing major, more around just my ear or whatever. But I got airlifted by Stars Air Ambulance. I got taken to Health Science Center in Winnipeg, and I had a few surgeries there. And obviously, I was admitted. And you know, I was conscious the whole time. They put me on some painkillers and stuff to help with the pain, but of course, anyone right now would be, you know, you find out you're going to a big hospital like that, especially where there's been numerous announcements of cases, and I was a little bit afraid. They told me I was being taken to Health Science Center, but I knew I had to because of my injuries. But it's still in the back of your mind, right?
Uh-huh.
That you're going into a facility with. Yeah. So you know, we got there. I had my surgeries and stuff, and what happened was, I was supposed to be. Normally, I would have been put into ICU because I was having difficulty breathing after my surgeries due to the anesthetics, but because their ICU was full of COVID cases, what they did was they moved me to a regular ward, and they had a nurse sit with me for 36 hours. No, 24. Yeah, 36, a day and a half, 36 hours to monitor me. And so I guess it's pretty much like ICU. Someone sits, you know, you're monitored all the time. So it was a little bit different. I was comfortable in a ward, but you know, you have someone sitting there watching you sleep. It can't be all that comforting, but at the same time, I knew I was in good hands. But,
I don't mean to smile or laugh.
Yeah,
Marlene,
no,
but
it was
someone
kind of
watching
funny
you as
though.
you're
Yeah,
sleeping.
yeah, every time I woke up, there was someone sitting there watching me, but I knew it was for, you know, my own good. And
Uh-huh.
but so that was the first part of it, and then I realized, okay, I'm in a room here with 3 other people, and I just happened to be in a ward with a gentleman, an older man, an elder from Opaskwayak, and there was a couple younger guys, one from Long Plains, and the other one was from Swan Lake. There was a room with 4 beds separated by curtains, and we all kind of talked. You know, it was Christmas Day, and 2 of them had two of them had devices. The older gentleman from OCN didn't have a device or anything, and we just kind of took care of him. You could tell he was lonely, he had some kind of surgery and he wasn't able to go home. And we're on our devices talking to our family and stuff, and we felt sorry for him. So those young guys they had less severe injuries, they were taking care of him. They would go and get him ice chips and 7-Up from the drink machine and stuff like that. But I can't imagine if that gentleman was in there by himself. It was Christmas Day, and he told us, he said, it's like almost like your family forgets about you. He said, I know they didn't forget about me, but they can't come and visit me. They they probably wish to phone me, but I don't have one of those computers, he said. He's pointing to our phones. And I just really felt sorry for him. Yeah. And it made me wonder how many elders are in hospitals throughout the province like that, not having that connection. And it always brings a lump to my throat out here. Like in Ebenflow, our closest hospital is St. Rose, and over the past few months, some of our elders have gone in there, and then you see their kids post on Facebook, like they go and visit them from window. They go wave at them. In the milder temperatures, they were talking to them like through the window. Like that always puts a lump in my throat. It's different. You want to be there for them.
It's heartbreaking to say the least.
It is. Yeah. So being in the hospital, I was there for 7 days. I came home New Year's Eve, and I got moved to another ward with a couple other people that I met, a lady from Pine Falls and a professor from a Christian college. And them too, their kids couldn't come and visit them. They had devices, though they were able to keep in touch, but it's still, they said even with those devices, they've been there for 4 or 5 weeks. It's still lonely. You still long for that, that human connection, those hugs, even looking just into someone's eyes when you talk to them. So it's tough. Like I was only there a week, and it was really tough on me mentally, physically, spiritually. But I'm grateful that I got to come home after a week. But I think of those, not just elders, like the young ones, the middle-aged ones, anyone in the hospital. It's a tough time for them right now, and I guess people probably know that if you have someone in the hospital, you can go there and drop something off for them. They they make sure it's sanitized or whatever, and whether it's a card with a handwritten message or something, or I know in Winnipeg a couple times my family sent me skip the dishes when I didn't care for the hospital food. Yeah. So that brightened my spirits. So
Marlene, if there was something you could share with the audience, if you could share what to be mindful of, what to be aware of, like if someone was in the hospital and you want to help in your own individual way as a family member, could you share some of the insights you gained by staying there, by having real live experience and being able to share what would be a good thing to do for someone who is in the hospital?
Yeah, you know what, like I said, I mean, if you've got someone, some of our nations are close to smaller hospitals where you can, go ring the bell at the hospital and drop something off, whether it's just a small handwritten card, letter, or, even some fruit, a magazine, something like that. And if you can't provide any of that stuff, just a handwritten message or a phone call to the nursing desk, this is his granddaughter calling, just let him know that I said hi and I'm thinking about him and I miss him, something like that. Like it's really lonely in there, and to get those little messages of hope, and to know that you're not alone, even though you feel alone in there. I would just suggest people, make sure you let them know they're thought about, and they're being prayed for, and they're loved.
Well done. What about normally the way sometimes you see the majority of us helping others is by providing nibe, a little bit of water, whether it's bottled, and smokes. I wonder, is that to suggest that kind of help for someone? Am I enabling something wrong, or am I doing it in a good way that'll be understood and taken in a good way?
Well, you know what? Just given the circumstances right now at the hospitals, if you're in the hospital, you can't really go outside. You can't go, regardless of whether or
Oh.
not you have an addiction to smoking or whatever. You can't go out, so that probably isn't a good idea because you're gonna make them wish. But other things. I mean, other things, and I'm sure. Like I wondered when I was at HSC if there was like an Aboriginal care person. Like I was having really bad dreams, and I wanted to. I think I would have felt better if I would have been able to smudge. And I was going to ask
Mhm.
for the Aboriginal care or the hospice person to see if they could come see me, but things were so busy there towards the end. And but I'm sure if you wanted to take someone some herbal medicines or some wike, sage, something like that. I'm sure they make that possible where you can go somewhere in the hospital to go and take care of yourself with those medicines.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, Marlene, I'm glad that we shared, and I'm glad that you're okay too, Gegeti, and glad that we can continue the work that we've been tasked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm excited to be back. First couple weeks were a little bit my mind. Oh, look at that. I'm on. Can you see me now?
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. All of a sudden I just see my big face there.
You know what it is?
um
It's your internet connection probably, eh? It's got enough in there now. All right, well, anything
oh,
you would
enough
want to
juice.
add, Marlene
The
Nichagan?
broadband opened up. No, but no, like coming back, like I want to last week, after the new year, I thought, yeah, I want to go back. I want to go back. My mind wanted to, and my mind had what it takes, but my body was still healing. So I had to give it a little bit of time, but I'm happy to be
Your
back.
body was sore and fatigued.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. But no, I'm happy to be back.
Marlene, another thing I'm noticing is we have a little bit of a lag, eh?
Yeah, our internet out here isn't the greatest. I should have used my phone.
Well, Nicholan, anything else you want to share on the Health and Wellness Show? Leeson says hello to you on the chat bar and says hello to Lauren at the same time.
Okay. Hello, Lisa. No, that's pretty much it. I just encourage everyone to check out our fnt2t.com website, our Moccasin Trail News website. We've got we shared a lot of current information on there. We have quite a few job openings here right now at Treaty 2. I just shared that link not long ago on our Treaty 2 Facebook page. And yeah, no, we're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep moving and continue to help our nations reclaim their inherent and jurisdictional rights. And I'm always glad to be a guest on here, and I look forward to coming back again in a few days. I'll have a better connection.
Amsa Nicholan, we'll see you in a few days
Okay.
then, Marlene. Thank you for being here
Take
today.
care. Thanks, everyone.
Amsa. Miigwech. Thank you very much. That was Miss Marlene Davis, our communications go-to person here at the FNT2T. Helped me a lot to get started here in the government, and so grateful for you, Miss Davis. Thank you for helping me as well. Really enjoyed that conversation about what it feels like to be in the hospital. You even learned a little bit about what people are going through when they're in the hospital. Never really took the time to think critically how a person feels when they're in the hospital. Just like being stuck somewhere, I guess. And some of the ways we can help people to cope while they're in the hospitals. Apja, I like that one idea there where you could send a note, a handwritten note or a message. Chugusha, every little bit helps a person when they're in need. And I think especially the time when people are in need. And it's a wonderful feeling to be a part of a circle that helps people. That's part of being from the Elk clan, and whichever clan you're from, it's a good feeling to help another person get through their day. Okay. I want to thank you, especially to Leeson. Thanks for reaching out this afternoon, Leeson. It's always appreciated when you can come back online here and visit with us too. And as I was driving through your territory yesterday, Kinnesota, Manitoba, I looked that way. I looked that way. Is that the Manitoba house, the one that's that's nestled inside all those bushes with the two missing windows? It's around a 10 foot by 8 foot structure. Was that the Manitoba house? I'm not sure, but I looked there and then I seen that big gigantic rock there at the corner there. And so just wanted to let you know, I came through your territory. It was already twilight. And I didn't want to stop and let it turn into night. So I kept on moving and came forward up to Dauphin here, and this is where I am these days. Down by the lake, I didn't know. I'll give it another shot again Saturday, Sunday. Perhaps even make a GoPro video. And if you come to meet me there at Kinnesota, Manitoba, maybe we could do an interview together and talk about the history so that we can educate our audience, share with our audience what did take place during the making of Treaty 2, almost 150 years ago today. Okay, it's a pleasure to be here in Treaty 2 territory, right in the heart, and broadcasting from the official online news portal of the Treaty 2 territory. I'm Corey Whitford. Thank you for watching. We will see you again tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. with Coffee with the Knowledge Keepers. A note to all of our Anishinaabe viewers, our audience. Anishinaabe is moving from Monday night to Tuesday night. We've got a programming conflict, and so I want to let you know that Anishinaabe will continue, except on a different night in 2021. It'll be Tuesday nights now. So instead of movie night, 2-for-1 movie night, instead of going to a movie theater, a cheap night, you can come here, same place, same address, Tuesdays at 6 p.m. and Fridays at 6 p.m. And Leeson, Mr. Johnson, thank you for tuning in once again. I'm Sani Jogan. I'll see you again. Take care. Have a safe evening, everyone. Take care. Aho.